Good afternoon and welcome to Something About Being Out on a sweltering 16th of June 2023. I've just been a walk from the churchyard here down to one of the stretches of river. The river looks in really good condition. A guy came down and was walking a dog and it went swimming in the river, and I can understand it on a day like today. But that said, yeah, it's Dave, Something About Being Out. Got my t-shirt on. That said, I wouldn't have been impressed if I'd just got down there fishing for 10-20 minutes, just a quick session. It did look like there was smaller fish down there and maybe the odd chub in stretches, so I wouldn't have been impressed. It's a private club stretch, but it's not far from civilization, so naturally people are going to walk down there whether they own the land or not. Seems to be, doesn't really matter, the walk. But I would think, I'd have to look into it more, but I would think that the top bank anyone can walk down. It's just the banking near the side of the river, I was led to believe, is owned by the fishing club. I believe they own that particular stretch, which runs for about half a mile, I would guess. I know the start of it is a different club has that bit, and then it goes on to the club that I'm in, and then apparently it finishes from the footbridge that I go over, and it's only on, as I come from here, the far bank, which I do believe is the east bank, but my directions are never the best. If I really want to know where it is, I'll get my compass out. It's easy enough to get an app on your phone, and sometimes, I'd say very high pressure today. Just got back in the car, it's absolutely sweltering here in the car. Reading on the thermometer, 27 degrees C here on the 16th of June, which is the first official day of the river fishing season 2023, and how beautiful it was. Got some great pictures on the river. As I say, saw some fry and a bird that I didn't really identify. It was a long way away off the bridge, so yeah, it was lovely. I don't know, I can't remember if I bought my binoculars or not. I'm hoping I didn't, so yeah, I'm hoping I didn't, so all being well, they'll be at home. I don't think I put them in, to be honest. So yeah, it's from Dave at Something About Being Out. Have a great Friday, whatever you're up to. I know people will be struggling sleeping. I can sleep anywhere, anytime, to be honest. But it has been really hot and sweaty in the night. So I'm just down to a duvet cover. And I'm used to a duvet, and it's just made me feel really strange. The first night I slept in the duvet cover was like weird. I woke up in the morning and the sensation was just strange. It was like being on a different planet. It was really weird feeling. But yeah, it used to scare me. Well, it still does scare me when I have funny do's like that. Just one little change, it makes you feel strange, and it's took me years and years and years to get used to things like that. You know, you in with your own thoughts at night, you're on your own, and it's just so odd, really odd. So yeah, but I'm getting better anyway, which is the main thing. So it's from Dave at Something About Being Out, and this is what my channel's all about. Even if it's only for 10 minutes, half an hour, something like that. For me anyway, and I think a lot of people will echo this, it's great just to get out, a break from the normal, on your own, just for 10 minutes, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever. Lol Breakspear, who was talking with Des Taylor live, it wasn't last week. Last week was someone else, and I actually knew that person who was on Des's show last week. There's not a show of Des's tonight, so yes. So yeah, that, albeit I didn't want to go fishing, and the reason why I didn't want to fish was because of the hot weather and it not being suitable for the fish, and just being down next to the river now, if you take a fish out of its normal environment and bringing it out of the water into this hot air, it's just, I just don't feel it right for the fish. I think the shock will be just that bit too much from the water temperature to air temperature. That's only my thoughts on it. So what I don't want to fish the rivers. I know that it was mentioned that people know places even when the water levels are low on the Trent that are still 12 foot deep. I appreciate that, but I think, and he's not had a problem putting fish back, because what he's saying is when you're fishing, be somewhere where there's plenty of flow so you can put the fish back. To me, that makes a lot of sense. But I don't know whether just the fish being lifted out, well, you hardly need to do that. I mean, if I did fish, which I'm not going to, I just leave the fish in the net and let them go. That's, I wouldn't even photograph them. So, yeah, so I'm not saying it defeats the object. You still get the bite, get the fish, but I just don't feel it. I don't feel it right. I do a lot of my fishing in the winter. I did this year. I caught a lot of roach, crusions, 4 carp in a session on the railway lake, and that was really good fishing. And that's the first proper campaign I've done in the winter, because I'm a slow learner, and yeah, I just did something different and decided to do a proper campaign of my own. And what I did is I joined that particular syndicate for 1 year and then came off it for no other reason than someone coming on saying that you're a bad angler because the lilies will not grow back. Well, I was actually fishing pegs away from the lilies. I was pole fishing down one side and the lilies have come back. There is no issue, but it just really got on my nerves, because at the end of the day, it is a fishery. Yes, houses back onto it. Totally appreciate that. So I did 12 months and then came off. It makes me feel bad just thinking about it now, because at the end of the day, if you pay your subs and you're fishing, what right is someone to come onto that land who probably isn't even a member and start having a go at you? In a way, I think he was right in what he said, But there's other ways of dealing with things, but I've dealt with things in my own way, and I'm not going to say what he did was right, and I'm not going to say what he did was wrong. It was 6 and 2 3s, so on his part that was. I don't think he even had a right to communicate with me, because I rang the bailiff and I joined the right way. I paid him my money, and he said to me, "You can do what you want when you're down here." So in the meantime, what happened was people thought... Sorry, I'll just have a drink. Gotta keep hydrated in this weather. Oh. Just gonna bring the windows down just a little bit. Wowzers, so hot. Yeah, turn the engine off. So yeah, it was said that one particular person owned that lake, and anyway, he didn't. It was somebody else. Rural fishing. Some guy went down there and apparently was pinching fish. I always undid the lock on the gate and put it back, and in time it stopped working. Goodness knows how old that lock was. It had been years old. Nobody ever bothers with it. I'm not going to name where the syndicate was, but anyway, it ended up getting poached. I kicked the person off. Well, he left when I turned up, because I think he saw his own bum. So yeah, that's what happened down there. I told the bailiff about it. He told the owners, and nothing was done. And I was even asked if I was putting a lock on it. Well, I'm not being disrespectful, but I paid good money to fish that fishery, albeit a lot of the time when I went down I was the only one there. Oh. Yeah, albeit when I was down there I was the only one there. Then why would I put a lock on it when it's not my fishery? The owners knew about it, so they should have gone down and put a new lock on it. But they tried passing the buck. Anyway, in the meantime, somebody's poached it. They were having a big meeting. Everybody had to go down. They were looking at pointing the finger and blaming. I just totally washed my hands with it. Didn't turn up for the meeting. Didn't do anything. And they said, seeing as you've not come this weekend, seeing as you're a member, would you like to input any details? And what I said was, all I want to do is fish. And she said 100%, that's fine, not a problem. So when you join other fisheries, if you sign a disclaimer to say that you'll do 2 work parties a year, I agree with that. But if you pay money and you've got a 12-month membership and you've not signed anything, then there's nothing law abiding. So yeah, so I came off it. It was a beautiful fishery, absolutely stunning. The fishing there is stunning. The 2 drawbacks to it was the old guy that came down and started whinging at me, and the other one that the little bailiff, who it's eventually going to be left to, was really gobby, shouting, effing and blinding, being rude, knowing everything, just a young boy that knows everything. So, yeah, on that process, on that thinking and everything, I just rang the bailiff up at the end of March and said, I'm not fishing, I won't be walking round, thank you very much, and it was time to move on. And that's when I bought my walker's ticket, joined the PAC, and bought my Rivers Authority licence for the next 12 months. So, and then I got my Warrington Anglers ticket. So I'm all ticketed up, tickety boo, all good. So I'm gonna leave it there today. I pretty much only came out for a bit of a recce. I've walked that stretch before, so but it was beautiful, and I'll show the pictures. So it's from Dave at Something About Being Out. Cheers and see you on the next live. Bye bye for now.